Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles Life Coaching, and today's topic is intimacy and gaslighting. As most of you familiar with gaslighting and narcissistic abuse are already aware, gaslighting is a tool like the normal people of us using fork and knife when we are about to get something to eat. So it's easily accessible, it is omnipresent, and it is the standard tool for narcissists to manipulate you, to make you behave in a certain way that they want you to behave in order for you to give narcissistic supply to them, and over time to condition you. Intimacy in that context is no exception. What makes gaslighting during intimate encounters with your narcissistic partner all the more dangerous compared to normal everyday gaslighting is that we tend to let our guard down during and after intimacy with the partner. So today we're going through 4 examples, 2 for the ladies, 2 for the gentlemen, that are compiled from information I got from clients, which I'm allowed to divulge here to you, and the last example for the gentlemen will be one from my personal experience, so stay tuned. As a quick disclaimer here, as we are on YouTube, I need to rephrase certain words, topics, and ways to say things. So engage your imagination so that you know what I'm talking about. So what do we have here? We have the first example for the ladies. So imagine this. You are being intimate with your narcissistic partner, and in between he touches you in 2 specific places that are located between your throat and your belly button, your neck and your belly button. And he remarks, sometimes with a smirk, those used to be firmer, right? So what does he want to tell you? That you are inadequate, your physique does not match up with him, regardless of whether he has a beer belly or whatever his face looks like. You, dear lady, are not measuring up according to him. So he tries to make you feel inadequate, and in order for you to gain his graces again, because he's just the most handsome man in the world, you need to increase the intensity of your workout, reduce the intervals of your workout. Maybe 5 times per week is not enough, maybe it's 7, or it's 4 times per week, twice a day. And might start thinking about those implants that him and you have already talked about some time ago, right? So be very careful with that. When gaslighting like this happens during a setting where you are engaged in giving to the both of you, and he's just engaged in demanding for himself. That's the narcissist. Example number 2. This is for the gentleman. This is information that a client of mine allowed me to share here. And he just has had intercourse with his narcissistic partner. And after he spread his life-giving substance on her belly, she took a look at it and deemed it of sufficient quantity by saying to him, "That's not so much." So be very mindful about this. What does this tell you? This tells you that apparently it was not okay for him, as he divulged to me that 3 hours prior to them having intercourse, he engaged single-handedly in man wellness. And that was in order to relieve stress. And apparently it's not enough for the narcissistic female partner here that he was just intimate with her and her alone. So what this man unwittingly did was he acted as an alternative supplier to the opium that a female narcissist gives to you and tries to make you dependent upon. And let's not forget the narcissistic Bible statement, "Thou shalt not have alternative sources for intimacy apart from the narcissist, not even yourself." So it's very simple, gentlemen. Your body, your choice. Example number 3, again for the ladies. Imagine you're pregnant and your narcissistic man, husband, boyfriend remarks, "You've grown fat. This looks hideous. You're ugly." And it goes even further most of the time. Imagine in that setting that you're getting dressed in the bathroom and the bathroom door is open and he just walks by and gives you a glance of which he knows that you perceived it. Something along the lines of, "So what does the good guy expect? There's another life growing inside of you. Good job, Sherlock, for figuring that out." But apparently your physique is now displeasing to him. And if at some point you have the impression that he cheated on you and you corner him into actually saying and admitting that he cheated with the big "yeah, but." And what's the "yeah, but"? The "yeah, but" is that according to him, he deserves to be cheating to you. It's not, for him, it's not being unfaithful because he's been faithful to himself. But given the way you look, you must understand that he's going elsewhere for intimacy. So what you need to ask yourself here, ladies, is this a safe and healthy surrounding for you? Is it a safe and healthy surrounding for your child that is about to come into this world? Is it going to be workout after having given birth? Defying gravity with implants? Is that it? According to him, certainly. But do you allow him to play you that way? I know it's hard, especially when gaslighting in any and every aspect of your life has been going on for a long, long time, and your sole definer of your reality is the narcissistic partner. I know it is very difficult, and I can help you with that. But you need to make your mind up first if that is actually what you want and if that is what you deserve. Example number 4, gentlemen, for you, from my personal experience. So after having been intimate with a very short-term girlfriend back then, we were sitting across each other at a table, both dressed in a bathrobe, and all of a sudden she brings up something completely out of context. While we're both seemingly relaxed, apparently she wasn't. And it was about the night before when her and myself and a group of friends went out during the evening. And there I dared to share a laugh with a mutual female friend of ours. So extreme jealousy kicked in. This is always something to have an eye out for because it happens a lot and usually indicates that the narcissistic partner, male or female, doesn't matter, has already been cheating on you at least once. This is called mirroring, as a side note. So at that point, she's trying to squeeze out tears, reducing her breathing, and even going so far as to clutching her own throat in an attempt to indicate to me that what I did the night before, laughing with a female friend of ours, was so tough on her that it was the equivalent of me robbing her of her breath. So I was already familiar with this particular pattern because I saw it in a cousin many, many years ago when my cousin, at a very early age, in the phase of being an emotionally unregulated child, tried to extract or impose her will upon her mother back then. And she just held her breath until, and I kid you not, until she fainted. Fast forward, different person, same type of emotionally unregulated child in an adult woman's body, and she tries the same. I was in my frame. I knew what was and what wasn't true. I knew what happened and what didn't happen at any point. And I was no longer that emotionally engaged with her at that point in time. So I leaned forward, starting to smirk, and watched her. And she, still trying to squeeze out tears, still unsuccessfully so, still holding her breath most of the time and clutching her throat even more intensely because it was such an impediment to her what I did. She asked with a completely normal voice, all of a sudden air supply seemed to materialize, "What are you doing?" And I just told her, "I'm watching. Whatever happens first, whether you faint or you pull yourself together." And then, ladies and gentlemen, the miracle happened. The clouds parted, a ray of sun shone upon this scantily clad narcissistic female, and none other than the god of the sun, Apollo, in his radiant benevolence, reached down to her and whispered in her ear, "Stop the cap." And spoiler alert, stop the cap she did. What followed after that was a discard toward me of 3 days, where no sign of life was detectable from her, and a few days after she returned, the relationship ended. So be very mindful of this, especially during or after an intimate setting when you're letting your guard down, because this makes you very susceptible to high degrees of massive manipulation. Know your truth, know the truth, and live by it, stand by it, because what you're going to see and hear will be in drastic conflict to that. Hold on tight to what you know to be true. So, what I'd like you to take away from this video is pay attention. Pay attention. And get out. For your sake, for the sake of your health, for the sake of your sanity, and should there be any children, for the sake of your children as well. Because this will never change to the positive. It will get worse over time. And always remember that the only inadequate person in any and every of these settings is the one trying to make you look inadequate. Don't give up. Don't give in. Be your own hero and be your own heroine, ladies and gentlemen. If you want my help with this, hit me up on achilles-lifecoaching.com and book your session. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.